Right now at noon, charges against a Mount Horeb man accused of kidnapping a woman have been dismissed. We'll have the latest. Plus, the FBI's report on its investigation into Brett Kavanaugh has been released to the U.S. Senate, what some senators are saying about it. And the Milwaukee Brewers are taking on the Colorado Rockies this afternoon in playoff action. We'll tell you which Brewer will be taking the mound.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Thursday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit, but first let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Wow, what a difference a day makes.
Right? Like yesterday, I was like, man, this is summer all over again, but now we have those temperatures that are a lot cooler out there and plenty of sunshine as well. Let's go ahead and show you the live look over the Edgewater right now. Crystal blue sky. It kind of makes you want to get outdoors, but I should warn you, if you have not stepped outside yet today, it is noticeably cooler, 25 degrees cooler than we were at this time yesterday. And if you think that is a temperature change, let's go ahead and show you just the upper Midwest as a whole. You have sunspots. Fort Dodge, Iowa, 33 degrees cooler yesterday, and the dew points are upwards of 35 to 40 degrees lower than yesterday. So there's a lot of moisture that was swept out of the air. The temperature right now, 50 here in Madison, 41 as you work your way up towards northern Minnesota and North Dakota. That's where those temperatures are a little bit cooler, but we're going to keep some of that sunshine around for now, with the upper Midwest being mostly dry. However, there is another rain chance coming our way. It's this system bringing the rain and the mix up to the Dakotas. That is going to be working its way westward. We will warm up, but that's going to bring more rain chances by the time we go through tomorrow. And we're going to break down what your weekend's going to look like coming up.
So enjoy the sunshine today.
Enjoy that sunshine right now.
I find it refreshing. It's nice outside.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll check back in a few minutes. Topping the news today, the case against a Mount Horeb man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman has been dismissed. Court records show a Dane County judge dropped charges against 50-year-old Matthew Levin. Levin was facing 4 felonies, including strangulation, kidnapping, and second-degree sexual assault. Police claim he told a 25-year-old woman he would give her a ride home from a restaurant when he drove her to a parking lot of an auto shop he owned in Monona instead and assaulted her there. According to court documents, the woman convinced Levin to go to a gas station where she was able to escape. 13 people are displaced after an overnight fire at an apartment building in Janesville. The Red Cross called in last night to help residents there. Fire officials say the fire started as an outside fire and involved a propane grill on a deck. Everyone inside the building was evacuated. Officers say there were no reports of injuries. A dog was rescued from one of the apartments and was returned to the owner. The official cause of that fire is still under investigation, but preliminary damage is estimated at $200,000 for the property and $60,000 for content. A Montello man is once again in trouble for charging people for construction work and not completing the job. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office says they received 2 complaints in September regarding a construction contractor not completing work on residences. Officials were told that 32-year-old Logan Myers asked for and received a down payment for the work to be done, totaling more than $8,000 from 2 victims. Myers never did any work for either of the victims, but kept their money. He was arrested on tentative charges of 2 counts of theft in a business setting and a felony bail jumping charge. Officers said Myers was arrested in March for the same thing after sheriff's deputies identified 4 other victims. A South Carolina city is stunned after a gunman ambushed police, killing 1 and wounding 6 others. The 4 police officers and 3 sheriff's deputies were shot while serving a search warrant. Police were forced to use a bulletproof truck to rescue the wounded officers. Police officer Terrence Caraway died in the gunfire. He had just celebrated 30 years on the force.
Pray for these officers and their speedy recovery. Pray for the family who lost the bravest police officer that I have ever known.
The suspect in custody is identified as 74-year-old Fred Hopkins. He held children hostage while barricading himself inside the home. The standoff lasted for about 2 hours before Hopkins surrendered. A single copy of the FBI's report on its investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct against Judge Brett Kavanaugh has been delivered to the U.S. Senate. Senators are now getting their chance to review the report ahead of a vote which could put Kavanaugh on the United States Supreme Court. Nicole Killian has more.
Senators are being allowed into a secured briefing room to review the FBI's report about allegations of sexual misconduct against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
They interviewed 10 witnesses. They followed leads from interviews that made sense to me. I'm confident the FBI did a good job. They were not hindered in any way.
The FBI did not interview Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, who testified that Kavanaugh pinned her down and groped her during a gathering in 1982. Nor did they interview more than a dozen people proposed by Ford's lawyers. Deborah Ramirez, who alleges Kavanaugh exposed himself to her at a party, was interviewed by the FBI. But she told The New Yorker, "People who were key to corroborating my story have not been contacted. I feel like I'm being silenced." Kavanaugh has denied all claims against him.
Democrats agreed that the investigation scope should be limited. We did not agree that the White House should tie the FBI's hands.
With the FBI investigation now complete, Senate Republicans are pushing ahead for a final vote on Kavanaugh's confirmation.
We are fully confident after reviewing this information, senators are going to be comfortable voting yes.
3 Senate Republicans have not made up their minds on how they'll vote, and the White House may not have helped their cause with the limited scope of the FBI investigation.
Frankly, I don't think you've done very much to give them much political cover because it's not been that widespread.
The Senate will have a procedural vote tomorrow, with a final confirmation vote likely coming Saturday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Democratic Senators Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota and Joe Manchin of West Virginia have also yet to announce how they will vote. The Brewers have announced, however, their starter for Game 1 of the National League Division Series this afternoon. Brandon Woodruff will get the start against the Colorado Rockies at Miller Park. First pitch is just after 4 o'clock. The Brewers also released their NLDS roster. Out of the 25 players on the roster, only 7 of them have ever played in the playoffs. We'll have live coverage of the game live from Milwaukee in later newscasts. Well, there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Just because we're getting back into that end-of-the-year routine doesn't mean dinner time should become boring. With today's recipe, it won't. Well, it's that time of year. The kids have been back to school for a while, and most of us are settling into our fall routines. But just because life is routine doesn't mean dinner should be boring. To keep things fresh, we came up with a new Asian-inspired dish that's fresh and tasty. It's fried rice, and it goes together like this. The first thing we do is cook and cool some long-grain white rice. Cooling this makes our fried rice lighter and less mushy later on. While that cools, we scramble a couple of eggs and set them aside. Now, in the same wok or skillet, we heat some sesame oil and stir-fry our cooled rice until it starts to brown. Next, we add some peas and carrots, a bit of garlic, some soy sauce, and a touch of black pepper. Once all the flavors come together, we add in our shrimp and we'll stir fry that until it's cooked through. Add in the cooked eggs and some scallions, and you have a fill-you-up all-in-one dish that's ready in no time and is takeout fancy. And since it's packed with veggies and protein, it's mom approved. To get the recipe for our weeknight shrimp fried rice, just visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a shrimptacular way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
There's more to come on News 3 Noon. Up next, a cool and breezy Thursday across southern Wisconsin. Meteorologist Chris Reese has your first alert forecast when we come back. Well, cash registers are expected to be busy this holiday season. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
Holiday sales are expected to rise this year. The National Retail Federation is predicting that sales in November and December will increase between 4.3 and 4.8% from a year ago. In other words, Americans are expected to shell out as much as nearly $721 billion on the holidays this year. Employees at 7 Marriott hotels in Boston walked off the job. It's Boston's first ever strike by hotel workers. More than 1,500 unionized workers are on strike, including housekeepers, cooks, bellhops, and bartenders. Contract negotiations have been ongoing for months. The employees are seeking better pay and benefits. The union says strikes are being considered in other cities, including San Francisco, Detroit, and Honolulu. Meanwhile, a weekly snapshot of the national labor market shows more improvement. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims fell by 8,000 to 207,000. That is the lowest level in almost 49 years. And 2/3 of workers daydream about getting a new job every day. That's according to a new survey by Monster.com. Another 27% daydream about another job weekly, while a fraction of people only think about getting a different job on particularly bad days. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. The Dow Industrial is down 242 points at the noon hour. The NASDAQ down 148. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is at the World Dairy Expo this week, so here are your farm numbers. And Pam will be back with us on Monday. Chris is here now. Wow, yesterday had the air conditioning on. Not today.
It was hot. I went to the store, started sweating. For starters here, check out Peru. 91 degrees in Peru, Illinois yesterday, 88 in Chicago, 89 down in Iowa City. Here in Madison, we even made it towards 84 degrees. So you see just how warm things were yesterday. But if you haven't stepped outside, well, it's not that warm anymore. Temperatures have come way down, 25 degrees cooler over the past 24 hours, 32 degrees cooler in Waterloo, 33 degrees cooler in Fort Dodge. So we're really seeing those cooler temperatures coming back into play. It was ushered in by a cold front that brought some rain mainly to the northern half of the state. That's where they really saw a lot of severe thunderstorm action yesterday as well. But now a lot of that is out of here. We have more clear skies in play. We're looking at those clear skies outside right now. So it's abundant sunshine, folks. Yes, though, it is a little bit cooler. 50 degrees is that temperature right now. We do have winds coming out of the north and northeast at about 12 miles per hour. But when I talk about how dry the air is, check out that dew point at 35. And as we look across the state, most temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. Warmer further south, the further south you are, and of course cooler towards the north. But let's zoom back out and you go up towards portions of Minnesota, northern Minnesota. That's where temperatures are just now leaving the 30s. Same for North Dakota as of now. And we're not held cool by cloud cover like we have in a lot of other days. This is full sunshine, but cool temperatures in, though cloud cover will start to sneak back on into the picture. We're watching some rain right now over the Dakotas, along with some sleet and some snow. But this whole disturbance is going to work its way towards the east, eventually moving our way. So as we go through tomorrow morning, we'll notice some of those showers starting to pick back up once again. The clouds will stick around. More showers will come in as we go through Saturday and into Sunday. And just through the weekend as a whole, we are looking at about an inch or so of rain. But that's just the beginning of another pretty wet period. Here's what we've got going on. The jet stream is bringing those systems our way. A big dip in the west, keeping their temperatures cool. The warm air to our south and east. Wisconsin is the battle zone with several waves of low pressure that are going to be riding along that, and that's going to keep those rain chances around. In fact, as we go through the next week or so, watch how from essentially through Kansas all the way into Wisconsin, we continue to see the heaviest of the rain just kind of adding up, because we'll have so many rain chances going through the coming days. That starts, like I said, tomorrow. We'll see temperatures right around 60 for those highs. And then through the weekend, more and more rain chances even through early next week. There are only 2 dry days on our 10-day forecast, so it's still going to be a wet pattern for the next.
And we don't need any more rain.
We don't need any more rain. In fact, this is starting to reach a point where if you get so much rain, it can actually hurt some of the fall colors and keep those from changing. So we're going to watch all those rain chances.
All right. Thank you, Chris. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our Pet of the Week. We'll meet Birdie. There she is, right? She? Okay, that's coming up right after the break. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our Pet of the Week. Hello, Marissa.
Hi.
This is Birdie. Tell us about her.
Little Birdie. So she is a young adult, so probably, maybe around that 1 year old. I think this is full grown for her, so she's probably going to stay a nice little petite gal.
She's small. which is nice.
And she was found stray over in the town of Dunkirk and is now available and looking for a great home in the Madison area.
She loves her face scratched.
She is. She is a sucker for those ear and little chin scratchies. And when you first meet her, it might take her just a little bit of time to warm up. But once she meets you, she is a sucker for those belly rubs. She'll come up and she'll probably be a great lap kitty.
Yeah, she a great disposition. Do you want to play with this? No, we just want to get itched. But who doesn't? So she was a stray.
Yep, she was a stray. But what we do know about her is that I think she's going to fit in a lot of different households. She's pretty young, so as long as she gets a nice little introduction to other cats, she'd probably do well there. Any other pets you have in the home. But she's going to need a lot of room to run around and play, being as young as she is.
And yeah, she's full of energy, and she is purring away.
Yep.
She's a happy girl, and you can get her at a reduced rate.
Yep. So now through Sunday, her adoption fee is going to be $5.
Really?
Yep. We have an adoption special going on through Sunday. We want you to fall in love with one of our kitties. So that's $5 adoption fees for adult and senior cats, $75 for those kittens, and that's good at all of our locations, and also good for cats with Madison Cat Project.
Okay, and she's almost a kitten here.
She is almost a kitten, but you're going to get her for $5.
That's a great deal. Great deal. You're on sale, honey.
Yeah.
All right, last week? Or 2 weeks ago.
We had Bama. Oh my gosh, I am absolutely in love with that guy.
Susan was telling me about him. A lot of energy.
Yep, he is one big happy guy, and he is still with us. He's looking for a great home, and you can meet both Birdie and Bama at the main shelter.
Okay, but he needs a lot of room to run.
He needs a lot of room to run around and play. Look at him go.
Go to the website, giveshelter.org, for information on Birdie and all of the critters available, 838-0413. Marissa, thank you. Birdie, good luck. Hope you get a new home. All right, let's head back to the Weather Center. Chris Reese, one final check of the forecast.
That's right. We're still going to enjoy plenty of that sunshine out there going through the rest of today, but those clouds will be increasing late evening and overnight before rain chances do arrive as we go through Friday. Prepare for rain throughout the weekend, folks. It's going to come in waves, so it won't rain the whole weekend, but it'll be pretty dreary. Temperatures will be in the 50s and 60s through the weekend.
Right. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.